First, look, our dog training industry is unregulated. It's like the wild, wild west out here. Anybody can hang out a sign and call themselves a dog trainer. Someone that's maybe had four dogs in their life or dabble on the side to become a dog trainer and now think they're dog trainers. Some people go to school and think now I'm a dog trainer and I can do all the things. And that is not true. So if you've always wondered, what is it? Should I be a dog trainer? Is this the right career for me? What do you need to become a dog trainer? Come a little closer and I'm going to give you the honest truth. I've got no skin in the game. I'm not making anything off of any of this content. I just want to improve my industry and really decrease dog trainer burnout. Okay, so let's jump right to this. Hint, hint, you have to like people. Or don't even get into this. You're not playing with puppies all day. You're not playing with dogs all day. You deal with people. They are the ones that are contacting you. You are teaching them how to train the dog. As a dog trainer, we can train the dogs in a few minutes. Our job is to show the person how to do that, or then we're not an effective dog trainer. It's your job to take what's in your head, put it into a format that the learner can learn how to do this easily. And if it doesn't work, you can be quick enough and witty enough to be able to pivot and make sure and break a skill down so that the client is able to learn. That's a big one. And again, this comes with practice. You need to be calm under pressure. Dogs are, you just never know. Shoot, you don't even know with guardians sometimes what can happen. So you need to be calm under pressure, take a deep breath, and can manage things quickly. Here's a big one that I see a lot. Dog trainers that are just like, I want to be a dog trainer, but I can't speak to people. I just can't look at them in the face and talk to them. I cannot, or I'm uncomfortable presenting to a group of people. Here's a need to enjoy teaching. I can't explain that enough. It's almost like you enjoy teaching and watching the guardian and the dog get it and the light bulb moment. I mean, for me, that's why I do it. That's my reinforcement too. You need to be solution oriented. Again, thinking on your feet. You know, this didn't work. What can I do? Oh, you didn't understand this. Let me try that. Oh, you're struggling here. How can I break this down? You need to think again on your feet. We need to be able to listen instead of talk. That's a big one for dog trainers. We like to talk. We need to stop and listen more so that our client, our guardian feels heard. We get a clear picture of what's going on. And then we're able to kind of go from there. Non-judgmental. When folks reach out, they're struggling. They're not reaching out to be friends. They're reaching out because they either want to get their dog started on the right foot, or if you're dealing with behavior, they've got an issue. And by the time for someone to reach out and want to spend money for this, they're already frustrated. Now, these are some things that I think dog trainers must learn that most people get into the dog world don't really know. There's a lot, trust me, but here's the ones I kind of was able to narrow down. I definitely feel that you need to understand learning theory. And learning theory to me is basically applied behavior analysis. You do need to understand the four quadrants. You need to understand counter conditioning, desensitization. You need to understand all those. Those are the basics of how everything learns. Because using scripts, if dog does X, then I need to do Y, and this is going to get Z. Scripts don't work. They just don't. You need to understand how everything learns. And that's including with the human too. You need to understand dog body language. Dogs don't just bite out of the blue. It's very rare. This is their language. You've got to be, and this is a skill. This is going to take a while to learn. You need to understand how humans learn because remember, you're teaching the person. You need to understand dog health, wellness, and you need to know their anatomy, not a knee. It's not just an elbow, right? You need to understand everything that's going on with the dog. It's a hock, it's a stifle, things like that. You also need to know mechanical skills. Mechanical skills, as in, when to give a cue and when to actually give the treat and how to wean treats and things like that. You understand dog laws, what you can and can't do. You do need to understand genetics. You need to understand some of these dogs and what's going on behind um, their little heads, right? Like, why do terriers like to dig? Why this? Why that? You need to understand case management, okay? How to manage a case. You need to understand breed variation. You need to understand dog and puppy development because they all learn at different stages. You need to understand how health impacts behavior. Pain is a huge one. We're like, acute aggression, idiopathic aggression. Oh, the dog was painful. I'm grumpy when my back hurts. The dog has a right to be grumpy too if they're in pain. So you've got to understand how health impacts behavior. You need to understand how to prevent disease or what diseases dogs do get. You need to understand um, how to work in a professional manner with veterinarians. That's a whole nother skill. You need business. Again, hanging a sign out or putting an ad is not anything. You understand laws, regulations, and you need to understand how to identify any type of neglect or cruelty and what to do about it. That's just a sampling of what needs to be learned. So let's talk about the recommended career path I put together for how to become a dog trainer. If you feel these skills and or something that you would enjoy, and if you feel like this is some of the knowledge that you would like to learn, my first recommendation is definitely go to a dog training school and graduate. As someone that did it the old way, because back in 1992, we did not have dog training schools. I went with a mentor, worked with a mentor, and put my hands on dogs and then eventually learned learning theory. I feel like I worked backwards. Okay, I did. It's like I knew what I was doing, but I didn't understand why. I wish I would have gone to a dog training school and graduated. Please do. And I'll actually even share some of the dog training schools I recommend and why. Then I want you to choose a mentor. Once you've gone to school and you've graduated, finished, graduated, then I want you to find a mentor. And I think I'm going to do some other videos on how to find the perfect mentor because that's not easy either. And then I want you to get at least 300 hours of hands on experience, private lessons, teaching puppy, group, basic, intermediate, agility, fly ball, nose work. I want you to work in shelters and teach in class, all the things with a mentor that's right there with you and helping you guide you through this. And so that you have someone that you can apply what you learned for school, but you have a mentor helping you put what you learned into action in 300 hours. Then I want you to take, it's a minimum, your certified professional dog trainer, the KA certification, which means that your knowledge test. For some reason, I hear people say certifications are nothing in the dog world. It's hands on experience that matters. I disagree because you got to have hands on experience to get a certification. I mean, and there's a difference. Going through a school is not a certification. That just means you graduated and you got a diploma from that school. A certification, like the from the Council of the Certified Professional Dog Trainer, means that you have hands on and you or have studied these areas that I talked about earlier and you sit down and you take a 300 exam test and you pass, which means you meet the minimum requirements to become a dog trainer. We need standards. And I already feel myself getting on my soapbox. We need standards in our industry. I'm so sick of people saying, not understanding learning theory or how to teach dogs using scripts and doing a lot of damage. So minimum, yes, you went to school, but you still need to get a certification. Example, I'm a hairdresser too, shocker, right? I went through school. I graduated my hair school, but I also had to take the state board exam twice and pass. And then I had to have a mentor before I actually would work with people. Okay. Minimum school mentor that's over you while you're doing your hands-on training. When you get your 300 hours, get your CPDT. And yes, I have my CPDT-KA and I took it back in 2003 when we did it on Scantron. That's how old I am. Once you've done that, then I want you to take time and gain more knowledge and earn more certifications. That can take another 3 years, 5 years. Okay. That is the roadmap. So let's talk about dog training schools. I get asked this so much, dog training schools. And here's my recommendations for the best dog trainer schools, and I'll kind of tell you why. My absolute favorite, hands down, is Academy for Dog Trainers. This was created by Jean Donaldson. Her school is very, very, very robust. It goes over how to be a dog trainer, but it also goes into learning theory and teaches you all the things that dog trainers, the skills that you need and the knowledge you need, but it also goes into behavior because dog trainer, as I'll talk about later, and becoming a behavior consultant is two different animals to me. Think of dog trainer as entry level for dog training, and then behavior consultant is someone that is maybe differentiating themselves and going into certain niches and working in certain aspects of behavior. So that's why I like Academy for Dog Trainers. And the folks that come out of that school, oh, they're amazing. They hit the ground running. I've requested that I wouldn't even work with a mentor until they went to that school. I mean, I wouldn't work with someone that wanted to mentor with me unless they went to school there. And I can't say enough good things about that school. You will come out so prepared. Um, and I like Dogma. They are Canadian based. I don't know if they offer online. I think Academy for Dog Trainers is online also. Dogma, I think, is in two pieces where you go through dog trainer and then into the behavior piece. I also like it's IAABC. I think it's the International Association of Animal Behavior Consultants. Their dog trainer course is pretty good too. It's online. I've been able to go through it and see, I think it's pretty good. The other thing I like is Catch. Again, this is probably more dog trainer if you just want to teach group classes, puppy, basic, agility, nose work, and things like that. I think Catch would be really, really, really good too. So, yeah, those are my schools that I recommend. I do think it would be worth saving the money to go to Academy for Dog Trainers or go to maybe. I don't know, Catch and then eventually Academy for Dog Trainers. It's up to you and whatever one you definitely do your research and see which one feels best for you. So let's talk a little bit about the difference between a dog trainer and a behavior consultant. There's major differences. And I do want to let you know too that there's a lot of people out there calling them or labeling themselves all kind of imaginative names. So yay for imagination, but remember, we do not have any kind of standards in this industry. So just because somebody's got a fancy title means nothing. For me and my thought process, there's two aspects in the dog training world. Dog trainer is your entry level. You've graduated a dog trainer school, you've earned your CPD-TKA, which are your knowledge tests. You teach puppy, basic, manners, agility, all those things. Group class, in person, you deal with digging, barking, chewing, puppy stuff, you teach loose leash manners, you teach skills and life skills and things like that. Okay. Potty training. To me, once you've done a dog trainer, I would say at least 3 years after you've taken your CPDT certification and you've got an additional 3 years of knowledge, Then you can think, okay, maybe I want to go into behavior. Behavior is a whole nother animal. You definitely need advanced knowledge on this. You have got to learn how to read dogs and understand and interpret body language because this will save you. And for me, a behavior consultant is someone that deals with reactivity, dogs with big feelings, dogs that are afraid of noises, dogs that are afraid with that have separation anxiety, compulsive disorders, or I call abnormal repetitive behaviors. These are the really hard things. This is the big emotional piece. I know it can be very sexy to work with. I work with aggression, things like this. You got to be skilled and to be able to do this. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I don't have the skill level for this. Let me refer it to someone that does. You will be, I'm not going to get on my soapbox. That's essential for a dog trainer. Know your skill level and what you can and can't do. Think of it as, would you want your general practitioner doing open heart surgery on you? No. Would you want your general practitioner doctor being your psychiatrist? No. There are niches of people that to refer to. Okay. Thinking, I'm a dog trainer, I'm going to dabble in aggression, you're going to do more harm. I can tell you that. And every time a dog is pushed to bite, it's making it harder and harder and harder to be able to change that behavior later. Know your skill set, work through it, take your time, learn your dog training. And that's what you would say, love it. I don't do service dogs. I wouldn't even know where to start. I've got people I can refer if they want to do service dog training. Okay. Dog trainers, basic manners, puppy, all those things. Again, I have people that I refer to. Oh, this is a puppy thing. Let me move you on. Okay. I specialize in separation anxiety and canine compulsive disorders or abnormal repetitive behaviors. Those are my two things. If I have somebody that's like, I'm like, oh, this is aggression. I hate to use the word aggression. This is reactivity. Let me refer you to someone that's really an expert there. I've done it. I don't. I've been out of that game for a while. Let me refer. You service dogs here. Oh, puppy. He's pot. Okay, let me refer you here. And I stay in my little niche. As you go into the behavior consultant world, you'll start to find what you like, and then you'll start to kind of expand with that. I would have never thought I would have liked separation anxiety, and I love it. For me, it's like a really hard puzzle to move and solve to be able to get to be able to change that behavior. And I'll tell you, is probably the hardest to work with. So yeah, we start as a dog trainer and work your way to a behavior consultant. Take your time. You're looking at least a 3 to 5 year journey. Okay. So navigating the pet industry. This is a hard one, and it's something that I wasn't sure I wanted to add, but I feel like I need to. Um, First off is I want you to choose your education programs. This is what you're going to teach, your methodology, and schools that you're going to attend wisely. Look for evidence-based approaches. There is tons of research out now showing that positive reinforcement decreases fear, it decreases stress, and dogs work quicker and faster. I'm not going to debate anybody. I just won't. I've been in this game too long. I was not a very nice dog trainer back in the early 90s. It's all we had back then. It just was. I learned, and now I would say probably the mid to late 90s, I am now absolutely positive reinforcement. And I know both worlds. I'll never go back to punishment based. So I won't even debate anybody. I don't believe in balanced training, and I'll leave that there. Um, Also, too, I want you to know that not all credentials mean the same. So when you're looking at, again, like we talked about in dog training school, look at what they're going to offer, what they're going to teach, and what seems like what you would like. And if you want to go to one school and then go to the next school, do that too. So you can learn different ways of maybe how to be a dog trainer and then some behavior consulting things. Okay. Also, too, watch for specific words when you're looking for mentors. Master dog trainer, doggy psychologist, canine behaviorist, those are made up. Uh, a psychologist is a human psychologist. A canine behaviorist is someone that has a master's or PhD in applied behavior, animal behavior, or a dog behavior, canine behavior. So, yeah, careful with some of these labels when you're looking at you're looking for a mentor. The other thing is that I'm going to try to say this as nice as possible, but look at certifications that if you're following somebody on social, TikTok, whatever it is, make sure these folks have the minimum certification, not just they went through a school. And marketing is not skill level. Somebody that's a good marketer doesn't necessarily mean that they're a good dog trainer. I can edit stuff and you wouldn't even know. And I want to see all the things. I want just tread lightly on that. I think there's a lot of TikTok stars that are saying all of this and look like they're skilled. Trust me, I'm not jealous. I'll just sit here over there in my little YouTube creating some things for you guys so I can improve my industry. That's just how I see it. But for me, there's a difference between marketing and skill. Now, sometimes you have both, but it's pretty rare. So just because they're TikTok famous does not mean that they're a really good dog trainer. Dig in, find out what methodology they use. Is it evidence based? And what certifications? Not what school or how many years. They're putting their their skills to a level of taking exams and passing and creating these standards and going through these milestones. Would you want a doctor that didn't pass his certification exams? Would you want a hairdresser? Would you want a dentist that hasn't have certifications and had to go through a standard testing and pass? Think of it that way, and we need to do this for dogs. All right, so I think that's a little bit. There's a lot of information in here. I'm going to continue to create some of this content because I think it's something that's needed. Definitely put any thoughts of things that you want to know more about. I definitely will do a whole mentor section. I probably will talk about things I wish I would have done differently and things like that. But here's probably the basics of what it takes to become a good dog trainer. Again, any questions, let me know and stay tuned. And yeah, we need really, really, really good, savvy dog trainers. I'm old. It's time for the new folks to start to come in. All right. Well, I will see you in the next video. Bye.